So we are here at the Revolt Studios in Atlanta. Banana. Wize is here. Anna is here from First Gems. Wize is from, he actually is behind the mic.
Hey. Okay now.
And me, Odessa from Reasonings with Odessa, and we are continuing our collaborative podcast all about AFRICON. Last night was the reception. Today we saw 2 panels, and we are also powered by
Fidelity,
as well as
Ray and nephew.
Yes, right. Ray and nephew, white rum.
Yes, okay.
So we are feeling good.
Odessa really blessed us, came through with the flask. So we were eating the amazing VIP lunch earlier today. You know, drop a little 1, 2 in there, you know. One and
2,
the
3,
Beijing
4.
dropped. I was saying the Beijing dropped the 3 and 4, but you know.
So guys, how do you feel so far of how AFRICON is? What was your vibe yesterday at the reception? What was your vibe today with a couple of the panels that we saw? I was very excited to see fine David Banner and also my boy Tuma Bass and some others that were there as well.
Yes.
Just like, let's give a little recap of yesterday and today.
Yeah. I'll start. I'm so happy to see you in real life, Odessa. This is crazy. And I don't think you mentioned you touched down from Jamaica yesterday. So just kudos coming from far and wide. And I know Wize, you drove down to the A. So I'm really happy to welcome y'all into the city. As ATL Anna.
ATL. What's that thing? The ATL.
I'm so ATL. We really are. And to, you know, culminate by being at the Revolt Studios. But last night was so cool to really see, like, just months of hard work and collaboration to put together this AFRICON conference. And then to be able to see the opening reception and how beautiful it was. And, you know, it's just like the intentionality behind, you know, choosing the gathering spot as the venue to have this, you know, and it's such a staple here in the city as well.
Give those that are listening a little background on the gathering spot, because I know it has a reason why they chose the.
Yeah, so the 2 co-founders, Ryan Wilson and TK Peterson, came together as natives of the city, and really it's very simple in the name, the gathering spot, a place to gather. And so it's been the spot to come together, you know, for panels, for workshops, for celebrations, for meetings, for town halls. And so it was a no-brainer to pick them up as a partner for AFRICON, and they've been nothing but, you know, the best of the best. Shout out to the operations team. Because I know I have been on calls like, come on, y'all, let's get this together. But really, last night was so beautiful. As soon as you walked into the venue, you just saw the red carpet. You got to take your flicks. We saw the Revolt logos. Shout out to Revolt. You know, as
Shout
part
out
of
to you.
part of media partners. But even just the people in the room, it was just such a good vibe. And there were so many people. I've never seen the gathering spot packed out like that. So it's just a testament to like what this conference was intended to do and how we were just able to kickstart it off. And y'all, we had the governor of Lagos State in the building.
No, we had the governor.
The governor.
Of Lagos State.
Yep.
Okay, don't
He
play.
was there, and it was, for me, I just rolled in with my luggage.
Yes.
Literally.
And I was just like, my drinks and beautiful people, my beautiful Africans were just everywhere. I was just like, oh, this is going to be an amazing conference. It kicked off perfectly. And I'm just so excited to even do like my circle. I'm really excited about that as well.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, yesterday was magical. Energy, you said this already, both of y'all said this already, but energy is so important. And when you walked in, like, you just felt like just a welcoming energy. Yes, everything was bright. The red carpet was incredible. The you know, I did love to see the backdrop. Yes, shout out to Revolt. Revolt was up there as well too. But again, everyone was just so welcoming, and it was packed. Now, again, this was my first time ever being to the gathering spot, having heard a ton about it over the past few years. Shout out to Ryan and TK, but to hear that this is most people you've ever seen physically in there, that's incredible, because that was my first experience. So now, like, everything else is kind of like at that standard. Got to be there. But yeah, it was great. You know, the people were incredible. You met some of our fellow mentorship circle colleagues or peers or whatever. So that was cool. That was cool.
Dope. Dope. Yeah, it was a good time. And again, just shout out to Amplify Africa and the team for such a great job. Well done. And partners with Fidelity Bank, because a whole delegation of folks from Nigeria and top of the top, world leaders, it's not easy to coordinate. And so to be able to pull off such a successful event was nothing short of a miracle. It was just a good time.
Yeah. So today we went and I saw the panel. I'm not. It wasn't Tuma. It was Tuma, and then were after, but Abdul, and I said the fine arts David Banner, and who else was there? I just remember some stuff that David was talking about, and it's conversations that Wize and I kind of had this morning, and
literally.
it's really just about, amplifying our voices, storytelling, you know what I mean? Getting our own IPs and not relying on what the quote unquote colonizer wants to, is throwing out for us. We need to start amplifying our voices, amplifying our own businesses. And it was just so touching. I was just like, yeah, wasn't that what we were talking about just a minute ago? Wasn't that just what we were talking about a minute ago? And I think that people really had something to take away. And to me, like, let me think. If we don't keep saying the same thing and knocking that door all the time and just repeating it, it's not gonna sit and it's not gonna soak in like when you're marinating a good oxtail dish inside of you. You're not gonna just soak it all in. You have to keep talking about it for everybody, because like, we're so digitalized now. Like, you scroll on social media, you'll see something that David or whoever was on the panel saying, and then you'll just forget it again. But we have to make it resonate. It's important for us, like the three of us that are here right now, to keep talking about us uniting, to keep talking about we're not just from Barbados, we're not Jamaican, we're not just Nigerian, we are Africans, and we're Africans first and foremost. And, I said to somebody today, it was my Uber driver. We're driving in, and he said, we should be calling ourselves menelated. I said, no, because Chinese don't call themselves yellow. Indians don't call themselves brown only. We are Africans. We're African Jamaican. Yep. If Chinese can say I'm a Chinese Jamaican or an Indian Jamaican, why can't we call ourselves an African as well? And that's where, for me, that's where it starts, and that's what I want to talk about tomorrow when I do my discussions, and just to let them know that our stories need to be told. We need to drill them in so that we can program our own people as well. So that's what I took from that panel this morning.
Absolutely.
And that main session panel that you're talking about is called Bridging the Gaps, Bridging the Unspoken Gaps Between Africa and the Diaspora.
Right.
So Barku Tubman, Dora Whitley, Abdul Abdullah, Shaka Zulu, and David Banner were the panelists for that, and it was great.
It
like,
was really good.
Echoing a lot of what Odessa said, it was incredible. You do have to keep repeating. Like, there's a saying, what was it, from advertising? You got to say something 3, 7, whatever it is.
Well, Dr. Umar does that, right?
For people to really like receive what you're saying, and just echoing all the points that you all have already said already. I think that this conference and the networking that's around that is only going to help solidify that and allow us to solidify the ground that we're standing on and like help pave the way for like everyone in the future too. So we don't have to, not that we don't want to have AFRICON in 2040, 2045, but we want that the bridge is already built at that point.
Exactly. Exactly. No, it's so many layers to that, of like the cross-cultural connections and how important it is to have a sense of awareness of our brothers and sisters across the diaspora. And I think even as Wize, you just read off who was on the panel, we're not doing small things here. Like these are game changers, trailblazers, whatever else. Like, these are top of the top. And so it's just such an honor to, one, like, sit and listen to them speak and be able to get this wisdom through the conference. But to your point, it's like, we have action items as well. We got to get some work done, right? There's a lot still that needs to be done. And it's also great to be able to celebrate how far that we've come as a global Black diaspora. And I think even just reflecting on, how the first gems and we, focus on the millennials, there's always like a pivotal moment in the folks that we bring on in particular and say, like, I can see where you're headed, but tell us about it so that when we can look back and say, this was the moment that you lit that fire in you to say, oh, I'm going to take on this project, or I'm going to start this new business, or I'm going to like go for it and move across the country or live in a different country and space. Because I think those moments where you see people on a panel sharing their wisdom, you're like, man, that's inspiring me to go on my own journey now. So that's also what it's about.
I'm just gonna highlight that you also did go cross country and have lived in other countries as well.
sure
Just
did.
wanted to say that. Just wanted to say
Many.
Yeah, we gotta live how we preach, okay? Yes. Shout out to Haiti, shout out to Sierra Leone, shout out to the homeland, Nigeria.
Yes,
right.
You already know.
Yes.
I only jumped over the water. I only went from London to Jamaica, but it was a big deal for me. No, it was, because a lot of people thought that I'd be back in London in 6 months, and I never went back until like 10 years later. And that was just for work and for 4 days, and that was it. And I was back in Jamaica again. So Jamaica, my mother always has a saying that if you live in Jamaica, you can live in Africa, you can survive Africa. So, you know, what I want people from this, what I want to talk to a lot of people, and what I have been talking to a lot of people about at this conference is, if it costs a lot of money to start investing in Africa for you, and you're here in America, the Caribbean is your home. The Caribbean is an extension of Africa, and you can invest in Jamaica, you can invest in Barbados, you can invest in Guyana, and you can invest in the Bahamas, where your home as well. And I want more of our younger people, and even some of the old that have the money, big up Fidelity, to start investing in the Caribbean as well, because it is a diamond. And once we can polish that diamond, we're going to take the same thing and stop even glistening our own continent of Africa.
Yeah, no, for sure. Don't want to get too far off of the point here, but talking about investing in the Caribbean region, AFRICON Bank is doing that. You know, some of that is really powered by the leadership of my prime minister. I'm gonna keep shout out her out.
No, she's my prime minister too. Like, remember, we took Mia and we gave you Andrew.
No.
Wait, Mia is she runs the Caribbean, and she's our Caribbean queen. We love her.
And she has really focused a lot on reconnecting with our African brothers and sisters. You know, we actually in our conversation earlier today, we were talking about Mia's trip back to Ghana, where she carried former African slaves' bones back to Ghana. Yes. And it's like I say we because, you know, Beijing. But we are really leading the way to just, you know, again, like build those bridges, because we could say it as like, you know, independent individual people, but when you see like, you know, our government's really taking that stance, and then even like, you know, the private sector connecting with the government to tie those things together, like there's pure opportunity, pure upside.
And the bank is everywhere it's in Jamaica now as well, and they're really looking to invest more into the creatives and the creative orange industry, and I think it's just so important to do that, because that's where a lot of our young voices are, and where they are most comfortable. And so big up to that. What's it called again, the bank's name?
AFRICON.
AFRICON.
Yes.
Yep.
AFRICON. You have 3 podcasts here that you can invest in the creative space. So definitely they get some big ups and a da-na-na-na.
Yes.
I'm making Anna crack up.
No, literally, y'all are so funny.
Well, this is Reese things as well. That's how I carry on.
But this has been so, like, okay, you know how when you get so excited about an event coming up and you're just thinking like, oh, I wonder how it's going to be with all 3 of our personalities. But y'all are my sidekicks for the weekend, okay? We are not straying far from each other at all.
We're going out tonight. We're going out tonight.
Yes, we are.
So we met DJ Obi, who I really wanted to meet and connect with, and we connected, and you know, there's stuff that we want to do. I had to bat up Abdul, because I've been talking to Abdul from 2019 about Afro. It was Afrochella then, Afrofuture, Jamaica, and he says that's going to happen. He wants to also do one in, I think, Barbados or Bahamas. He was mentioning. So
we'll just say Barbados for now.
But you know, it has to be done. And just to go back to what you were saying about the bones coming back to Ghana, and you know, like Jamaica has done, like when I went when I went to Africa for the first time, I was so shocked, especially Ghana, to see so much Jamaican flags. And like they wore them on their rings, they had them on their stickers on their car, they had flags, and I'm like going up to people like, "Are you Jamaican?" No, no,
Like
we just love Jamaica. And I'm like, "What? What do you know about Jamaica?" And they were talking about what the music does for them, how the music makes them, you know, what it did for them when times were rough and how it uplifted them. And, you know, even up to the new generation like Popcorn and Conscience and all of those artists. But I feel that like Jamaican artists don't really understand how much they are loved at home in the continent for the people.
Yeah.
They don't get it. They don't realize that their words empower people and their own people. So anybody that's listening to this, any of your Jamaican artists that are listening to this, you guys, you know, you need to fix up. It's not just about sex and drugs and reggae. I don't say rock and roll, I say rock and reggae. But your words is really important, and it's empowered the continent on a whole, and it can continue to power, and we can continue to, you know, just wrap the Caribbean around.
Yeah. Did y'all know there are like certain Rastafari communities on the continent? When I was living in Sierra Leone, they had like you would go in and find like an elderly man with locks, and I'd be like, whoa! And I had to do some research into it, like spiritually, like they practice and they're like fully embedded. So just being able to say like, okay, to your point, like I wish I could have asked them like, what like inspired, you know, this, or bring it here, or like who brought it, or, you know, but just being able to see footprints of, or remnants of, or just like things that remind you of home in other spaces, especially when it comes to our people. So those moments are beautiful to me.
We are one people. We have to really start drilling that in.
Yes.
It's interesting to me, as we're talking, this is really like top of mind right now.
Yeah.
When I think, use my I statements, when I think of like the global Black community, right? Two images come to mind, right? Ethiopia and Jamaica.
Yeah.
And I feel like no matter where you are in the world, Ethiopia and Jamaica have a strong presence, and like especially when you start thinking about like people who are really like Afrocentric, that is their roots.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, for Jamaica, I can see it's like culture, you know, and, you know, for Ethiopia, it's like Selassie as well, too. But it's like, you know, do you all agree, disagree?
I don't know. For me, it's different. I don't see Ethiopia. I see Nigeria. I see Nigeria, like, Nigerians are the business minds of Africa. Ghanaians are the intellectuals of Africa. And I think Jamaica has a bit of both in that, in the sense, you know, they all say we're from West Africa. It's very important for me to go and do my DNA, but I have to do it somewhere in Africa. I don't want them to kind of get my stuff here. But I you know, I think I'm Nigerian. But I think it's more Nigeria. But when I went to Ethiopia, it was just a beautiful experience. It was, you know, Africa on a whole, I just feel at home.
Yeah. Yep.
Doesn't see when you go, you're just gonna be like, oh, this is like Barbados, man. This is like, you're gonna just feel at home. You're just gonna you don't have to try to fit in. You're just in already.
Absolutely.
You know.
Yeah. I was gonna say with Wize, your question, I actually do. I've seen, you know, depending on where I have been, or even if I'm just like traveling, happen to see like a museum or something, I do see more of like like I was saying earlier, like the spiritual movements, the movements of like that inspire like revolution or just like pride. Like you'll see a lot of that. I'm also thinking with Nigeria, I just personally think Nigeria just has like a huge like digital footprint as far as like the music scene and, you know, just entertainment in general. Like everywhere I go, they're like, oh, we love this, you know, music, but not even just like the Burna Boys or the Wiz Kids, like even like the old, like, you know, because there's like a lot of like Igbo, which is like the tribes, those like hymns, like the spiritual music and whatnot. I remember I used to listen to like a old school radio in Sierra Leone, and they were playing like me. I'm like, I know what they're saying, you know. So I feel like just a lot of, you know, ways in which even before our time, our parents, grandparents, where they were still able to learn from each other and take certain things. And it makes me think about all of the leaders of the movements, right? In those eras, like the Lumumbas, the Sankofas and everything. Like, people are able to take those stories. And even in Haiti, just especially Haiti. Let me call out Haiti.
I was just going to say that.
Because if y'all had seen our episode with the First Gems, I took the girls back to Haiti to have a really great time. And it was just as fun as it was educational, as it was purposeful, because you just get to see history in the preservation of it.
Yeah.
And it just permeates through every single thing in Haitian culture, Haitian people, daily way of life too. So I just feel like there's a lot to take away from those spaces where you feel inspired, right? So you're like, okay, let me do some research. Who are my leaders from my country of origin? And you might even find connections on where they maybe have learned from each other, right? Where we learn about Dr. MLK and when he took his trips back home, and Malcolm X, he took his trips back to the continent. So there's, to your point, we're all one and the same.
We're the same.
And I'm a history nerd, so I like to watch documentaries where I understand what's the point of connections here.
Yeah.
But that's helpful for us to know how to move forward too. It's more than just like amplifying brands and doing collaboration for sponsorship, but it's also like, what's the movement that we're creating that needs to happen in this day and age, and like even platforms like this, we're doing it,
right? That's our movement starting.
That is it. Yeah.
So I'm so happy to be a part of the Revolt Podcast Network and Creators Network, because it's Black, it's Black owned, it's for us, it's by us, it's our voices, and pun intended, we do need to amplify it a lot more.
Yes.
As well as African voice. All of us are Africans, but more of our voices out there. It's not just, again, entertainment and sex and gender. We need more of these conversations. We need to understand, why is the FBA and the ADOS thing put in place to try and divide and conquer? You know what I mean? Why these things in, and why we mustn't get triggered or react to those things. We need to just try and unite and understand each other a little bit more. It's my platform. It's something that I realized 5 years ago, this is what I'm here to do. And I'm not going to stop until everybody understands that we're all Africans.
Exactly.
Okay. So we got about 4 minutes and 30 seconds left before the camera decides to just stop going.
Quit on us.
So this is technically day 2, but day 1 of the conference itself.
Yeah.
So, with day 2 ahead of us, and some activities we're going to get into ahead of us as well, too. What do you look forward to the most coming up?
Tomorrow, I'm a little nervous to sit down and talk around my circle. I do suffer a bit from, what's that syndrome they call it? Imposter syndrome, a little bit, just a tad. Even though I'm confident, I'm just like, what am I going to, stop kissing your teeth, Pommel, man? I just feel like, what am I going to, how are they going to react to me? How are they going to, that's always, I get that always, even before anything, even sitting down at this podcast right now, I kind of just go through things and I'm like, all right, Odessa, you can do this. But that's what I'm really looking forward to for tomorrow. Obviously the gala and wearing something other than black and white. And obviously my new cousin, Obi's house tomorrow night.
Yes.
And Jules' baby on Sunday, and football, Arsenal forever, Man U never. And just more people, meeting some more people. I met some amazing young people. I met a guy who I'm going to connect one of my brethren, David Mullings, with, who's in real estate and wants to talk more about investing in the Caribbean. And so I think you introduced me to him, Anna.
I probably did.
Yeah, you did.
Come on, Olu.
No, when I walked in yesterday with my luggage, and I was just connecting to this guy, and I was like, okay, I'm going to connect you with David, because David is coming in next week, and I think it would be great for you to meet him. He's an investor, and he's about bringing. We want to get more of the African diaspora to invest in Jamaica, from property, buying land, all of that kind of thing. So that's what he wants to do, and that's why I'm going to connect him. It's just more connections and making sure that those connections last.
Yeah.
Not just, man, and that's it.
Right. Like I said, like like we all have said so far, it's just much more than the party scene. The party scene is just, again, as we all come together, and this is a homecoming, you got to party. You got to have a good time.
We wouldn't be Africans if we didn't party. We wouldn't be.
But I always say, and this is a shout out to Amplify Africa in particular, there has not been an event curated, whether as small as like an intimate panel gathering or something as large as this AFRICON conference, where you don't walk into the room and see people that you're like, whoa, I didn't know that, this caliber of an event. But that's also a reflection on you walking into that room. Like, these are hand-picked, curated events where you're supposed to walk out with a new business partner, with a really great, mentor or mentee, right? Depending on what you're looking for. And the hope and idea, like I said, these action items are that you go out and do a collaboration, that you go out and make something out of that connection. So that's what I'm looking forward to for the rest of this weekend.
We got some potential collabs
We've
coming
got
up.
a lot.
Potential collabs.
Yes.
I'm pitching the first gems to a lot of the first gen, creators that I've been connected with this weekend. Looking forward to the same events as you mentioned. And honestly, if you didn't get a chance to come to 2025 AFRICON, come to the next one.
I'll
next
be like,
year.
oh, well, next year.
2026 is ready for you already.
Yeah, so it's gonna be it's already been such a great weekend. So I'm just looking forward to get right back into it.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, I mean, honestly, I'm not even going to keep us long here. I feel the same way.
Yeah.
So, networking and
everybody
OB.
is like, Wize been saying, there's so much beautiful people.
Beautiful people. Like,
Y'all
I'm
look
talking.
good.
How many times has he
look
said
good.
it?
I'm talking beautiful. I'm talking handsome. I'm talking stylish. Oh, no, I could say it because everybody out there look fly.
Yeah,
Like, look
they do.
fly. Like, I don't feel overdressed or out of place. Nah, I'm right at home.
Right
Yeah.
So,
at home.
yes. Networking, yes. Obi's house, I'm very excited
Oh, for
about because I
sure.
heard a lot about it. You've picked it up a lot. So now I'm just like, oh, this is going to be it. So, cool.
We were running off like the intermission music. That was fun.
Okay.
Cool.
So we can do more. We can, it's like, it's a pickup.
Yeah.
2 days left. What is?